Okay, welcome everyone. Today we're really digging into some quite surprising, I think, currents moving the markets right now.
Hmm.
We're looking at insights from Pensions Advisor, market outlook for UK stocks, specifically some complimentary info from my Pensions Advisor. The stuff they put out to help you manage your finances.
Right. Good source.
And our goal here is pretty straightforward. Figure out what's actually shaping the stock markets today, and more importantly, what that might mean for you.
Let's do it.
So first thing this morning, July 27th, 2025, the newswires are saying UK stocks are expected to open higher.
Yep.
My first reaction was, okay, maybe some strong UK data finally. But you're hinting something else is really driving this early optimism.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, isn't it? This UK rise, it's not really happening in a vacuum.
Okay.
It's sort of directly riding the coattails of what's happening in the U.S.
Okay.
U.S. equities are flying, getting really close to their all-time highs.
Wow. Okay. And why is that?
It boils down to the expectation of future interest rate cuts.
The cuts again.
Exactly. It's not just about, cheaper borrowing costs tomorrow. It signals the market believes we might get that soft landing everyone's hoping for, sustained growth maybe, without things getting too hot.
Right. So confidence is high.
Very high. And that's incredibly bullish for company earnings outlooks and just general investor confidence.
So less about today's hard numbers, more about tomorrow's possibilities.
Yeah.
Particularly driven by the U.S. view,
Mm-hmm.
largely. And it wasn't just the U.S. and U.K., was it? Global stocks also finished higher overall. What's the thread tying all these moves together? Is it really just this one thing?
Well, it really shows just how, interconnected everything is. Investors globally have been spending a lot of time sort of sifting through the latest economic numbers.
Right.
And maybe even more importantly, hanging on every word from the Federal Reserve, the U.S. central bank, about where interest rates might be heading.
The Fed's influence is huge.
Absolutely huge. There's signals. I mean, the Fed basically sets the tone for borrowing costs globally to some extent. Those signals are incredibly powerful market drivers. They shape expectations, create this kind of ripple effect.
Okay, so if we boil this down for you listening, the main takeaway here isn't just some local bounce in the UK market.
No, not at all. It's much bigger. The widespread anticipation of these interest rate cuts by major central banks, especially the Fed, that's the main engine right now.
A main engine, okay.
It's fueling optimism across the U.S., really, across global stock markets generally. It's a classic case, really, of market mood being lifted by expected changes in monetary policy, like a strong current.
And just to push on that slightly, while those rate cut expectations are clearly dominant, is there anything else, like any underlying strength we should acknowledge, or is it genuinely all about these anticipated cuts?
That's a fair point. While the potential for lower borrowing cost is definitely grabbing the headlines, we shouldn't ignore that corporate earnings reports have actually been pretty resilient. Yeah, across quite a few sectors, globally speaking. So that has built a kind of underlying foundation, a bit of strength there.
So it's not built on nothing.
Exactly. So yes, the rate outlook is the biggest push right now, the most powerful catalyst, definitely. But it's hitting a market that does have some fundamental merits of its own. It's not entirely hollow.
Okay. That makes sense. So wrapping up what we've sort of unpacked today, the big current lifting global UK and US stocks is this widespread expectation, this hope really of interest rate cuts with the Fed's signals leading the charge. It almost feels like the market's celebrating something that hasn't even happened yet, doesn't it?
It really does. It's pricing in that future optimism. And, that brings up a really interesting point for you to think about.
Yeah.
Just consider how deeply connected these global financial systems actually are. How signals or even just hints from one major economy or one central bank like the Fed can ripple out instantly across the world.
Affecting everything.
Right? Influencing the price of a stock listed locally, maybe even impacting your own pension fund eventually. It makes you wonder, what other events, things that seem quite distant, might actually be subtly shaping your financial world?
Something to definitely keep an eye on. Food for thought.
Absolutely. In this ever-changing landscape, it pays to look at those connections.